Take a look at this brand new Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra. While it looks the same as the previous generations of Ultra tablets from Samsung, there are actually a lot of tiny little changes. Most of them are for the better except for one. I have the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra with me here today to compare, and before we begin, please do hit that like and subscribe button as that will really help us out a lot since this video is, well, it took us a lot of time to find out a lot of the tiny differences and whatnot. So now, let's take a look at the design of the new Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra first. It has the exact same design and has the same length and height as well, but the new tablet is ever so slightly thinner than the previous generations. It's quite mind-boggling that this super thin tablet can still be thinner. Now let's take a look at the buttons. Remember how our phones will have the volume rocker at the top and the power button below it? Yeah, that wasn't what we had on the previous generations of tablets. The Tab S9 Ultra has the power button above the volume rocker instead. Now Samsung decided to revert back to how it was and follow how the phones are designed. So yeah, I think that's great as I don't have to do mental gymnastics when I want to use this tablet in portrait mode to watch Brain Rot on TikTok or Instagram or anything like that. Yeah, watching it on such a humongous OLED screen is a very different experience. Now let's talk about the screen. It's using a humongous 14.6-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display with a resolution of 2960 by 1848 pixels and also goes up to 120Hz refresh rate. Now, what I'm showing here isn't exactly the highest brightness, but it's already super bright and managed to overcome our bright studio lights. Our colorimeter reported that the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra can only go up to around 960 nits in auto brightness mode. You see, the anti-reflection tag built into the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra is superbly good. The super bright lights create a purplish hue and that's about it. Also, the nits is actually candela per meter square. It's the brightness per square meter of area. Since this is such a big tablet, 980 nits is actually plenty bright. The color accuracy is actually really good too. With its default out-of-the-box vividness level 1 setting, it covers 100% of sRGB and 91.53% of DCI-P3 color gamuts. When we went into the settings menu and cranked it up to vividness level 3, it basically reached 100% for both color gamuts. As a quick recap, having a higher DCI-P3 color gamut coverage is going to have more saturated colors on the display. Just head into the settings menu and play with this slider and you can tune it to whichever vividness level that is most comfortable to you. The bezel here is actually very tiny for a tablet and it's very difficult to hold this tablet with my own hands to watch whatever's on the screen. I guess that's understandable since this tablet is meant to be placed on the table with a standing case like what I'm showing right here. And one thing that's never gonna be comfortable is the under-display fingerprint scanner. I never liked under-display fingerprint scanners to begin with, and it's even worse on tablets because it's just not ergonomic to use at all. I would have preferred the fingerprint scanner to be embedded on the power button right here, as that would be a lot better. Or maybe just move the power button to this corner right here. Yeah. Now, the notch is, I would say, welcome to 2019, I guess. We now have a water drop notch on the Tab S11 Ultra instead of a rectangular notch. Even though the camera count has been reduced from 2 to 1, the water drop notch is still quite big in my opinion. It would have been best to not have a notch at all, honestly speaking. Now, as for the performance, the Tab S11 Ultra is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus, and I'm rather disappointed because I believe Samsung should have just waited for a while and used the newly announced Dimensity 9500 instead. Anyway, this is actually my third time encountering this chipset on a device this month. Yeah, we've done an extensive gaming test for the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra, so watch that video down in the description below after you're done watching this video. Also, do remember to hit that like and subscribe button as well. The Dimensity 9400 Plus is supremely powerful. We can play Genshin Impact at the highest graphical settings at 60 FPS without any issues at all, and that is actually to be expected since both the Xiaomi 15T Pro and the Xiaomi Pad Mini, again both of those devices equipped with the Dimensity 9400 Plus, can achieve this too. Now, Xender Zone Zero is a much more demanding game, and the render resolution is basically at the native resolution of this tablet. With the Flower Boss fight, it ran somewhere around 50 FPS and the frame rate was actually very consistent. I also did shield defense from nodes 4 to 7 and had no issues at all, other than my own skill issue. It's actually a very enjoyable experience since this is such a humongous, beautiful OLED screen. Wuthering Waves is going to be the most demanding game to date, as it is going to once more run it at the native resolution of this tablet, but with a lot more fancier graphics and effects. While it was okay in certain areas, these nests are super demanding to the point that it drops to somewhere around 20 FPS. That's because the Dimensity 9400 Plus has already hit its limit, and we'll have to wait for the next generation of chipsets to get a better frame rate at this kind of render resolution with this kind of graphical quality. This tablet is also practically 99% impossible to thermal throttle because this entire tablet is a giant heatsink. Throughout our gaming tests, it cannot even reach 35 degrees Celsius. We also tested Destiny Rising, which is surprisingly not a demanding game at all, and Fortnite, which also ran okay, but there are some micro stutters here and there, but otherwise smooth. Again, do watch our full gaming test video as we tested other games as well. Links are down in the description below. One thing that I want to highlight on this tablet though is the speakers. Even for such a thin tablet, there are 4 speakers and they sound supremely good. Have a listen here. How about the battery life then? It lasts for around 11 hours and 39 minutes in our standardized battery life test. That's actually very good, and it's mostly thanks to the MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus. You see, when we compare the battery capacity of this tablet with the Tab S9 Ultra, the new Tab S11 Ultra is only 400 mAh more, or about 3.6% larger battery. And yet, we tested both of these devices with the same brightness as well, and yeah, it just got a huge leap in terms of the battery efficiency, and I'm just more impressed by the MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus right now. As for the charging speed, the specs does say that this tablet supports up to 45 watts using our USB PD PPS charger and the PowerZ KM003C logger. The Tab S11 Ultra can only reach around 40 watts at most, and it will take about 90 minutes to charge from 15% to completion. And the temperature is way down below the threshold. It barely reached 32.5 degrees Celsius, and I think Samsung could just push way more wattage to the battery and it will still be fine. Maybe 65 watts of fast charging would be great for this tablet since it's such a huge capacity inside. Now, the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra is using the new One UI 8 with Android 16. There are a lot of features, but there are just a few that I want to highlight in this video. There is a new multi-desktop functionality that is housed within Samsung DeX. On paper, it should work like macOS or Windows multi-desktop. It kind of is. It seems to have two different styles of desktops right now. We start off with the Android interface. Then we can hit here and add a desktop. Within this new desktop, all apps are open as floating windows. We can open more desktops to segregate our work too. But we cannot move apps from, let's say, desktop 1 to desktop 2 by just dragging and dropping. There's no such option, and there's also no option to right-click and select the app to go to the next desktop or whatsoever. And there's also no easy keyboard shortcut to change between the desktops. We can hit Fn plus F5 and then use the arrow keys to select whatever desktop we want and then hit Enter key to switch to that desktop. I just think that while this new Samsung DeX is a good idea, the execution is just not that good. Oh, there's also this new white bar thing at the top of each app that's running on this standard Android interface. We can drag it down and enter to the multi-desktop interface directly, but if we just go to whichever desktop that was previously selected and we cannot move it to a different desktop. Other than that, the taskbar works the same as before, and it's still the best implementation that I've seen so far. Now, let's talk about this book cover keyboard as well. The typing experience is actually quite okay, though the travel distance is short, but the keys themselves are rather stiff but responsive. I can see that Samsung is trying to minimize the space that this keyboard takes, and this keyboard can also support the entire tablet if I lift it up like this. It's actually quite secure too, though don't try to shake it when you carry the whole tablet like this. Yeah. Now, since this tablet is thinner than before, the pogo pins of the keyboard connection has been moved to the back. This new book cover keyboard will flip up the pogo pins and magnetically snap onto the tablet to make a connection. It works flawlessly, though it's kind of over-engineered in my opinion. And now, the new S Pen. This is what I'm most disappointed about. You see, the new S Pen is much sleeker than before. Instead of being a big round stylus, it's now thinner and hexagonal in shape. It is shaped more like a conventional pencil, and I love the shape. There is one grey color side to signify where the magnets are located, so you can snap it on this side of the tablet. And if you haven't realized yet, I snapped it on the top right corner of this tablet, not the back around the camera side. And also, nothing happened when I snapped this S Pen to the tablet. Yeah, and that is because Samsung removed the Bluetooth LE connectivity from the S Pen. Yeah, this is the one big thing that I'm most disappointed about, as I always use the S Pen as a remote control to perform swipes remotely. You can watch our video at the top right corner there where we show you how you can do it step by step. But now that functionality is entirely gone. Since I use the S Pen for only that feature, I think this new S Pen will mostly just stay in the box. And a few more things to mention here. We do have a USB 3 port at the side here, and it can output to an external display too. This will further extend the new DeX functionality as the tablet takes up one desktop and the external monitor will take another. However, once again, there is no way to select which display to take on which desktop. But we can at least finally drag windows across the desktops. Yeah. We still have a microSD card slot here, but that's about it. Now, should you buy the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra? I personally will say that if you like to watch movies on a big, beautiful OLED screen, then this is gonna be the perfect tablet for you. It has great speakers too. Gamers should also consider this tablet, as the performance with the MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus is just fantastic, as it basically never overheats, though we have to lower the graphical settings for wuthering waves. If you like big tablets, then this one is for you. Plus, for us here in Malaysia at least, The book cover keyboard is included in the box as well. So do let me know what do you think about this massive Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra down in the comment section below. We'd love to know all of your thoughts and opinions, and we'll see you guys in the next video.